Katz and Cosby, entertaining and informative
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Everybody is going to be tuning in tonight to the White House Correspondents' Dinner. And I have a feeling Joe Concha is going to be tuning in to see what the president has to say. And, of course, you can hear Joe Concha every weeknight here on 77 WABC. And, Joe, he's going to be on at 9 o'clock. That's right around the Joe Concha show, I believe.
Exactly. People are going to have to toggle back and forth between two great entertainment options. And
two great entertainment icons, all right?
Oh, wow. It's a lot of pressure. But, yeah, look, I mean, we all know that Donald Trump is the Don Rickles of the presidency in terms of his ability to roast, and he will roast the media, who is as trusted as gas station sushi at this point. And, again, all these journalists, more than 500, wrote a letter saying that Donald Trump must stop his attacks on the media and the free and fair press. Yeah, you know what? If you're going to write letters to a president complaining about press coverage, you should thank your lucky stars that Trump is in office, because these journalists have more access than they ever had before with any other president, and yet they continue to criticize him. While during the Auto Pen administration, you could find Edward Snowden before you could find Joe Biden in front of a microphone taking questions from reporters. 0 press conferences his final year in office, even after dropping out. So, yeah, reporters and journalists should thank what they have here as far as access and a transparent president that talks to them on a daily basis, and stop complaining so much about Trump because you don't like some of the mean tweets that he may have.
You know, Joe, you're right. I was even watching just today alone. Probably the questions that he took were probably more than Joe Biden and his whole presidency. And I don't know if you saw this, it was the second question. I don't think it was the first one, but I think it was the second question. Came from a New York Times reporter who was okay, what's your question about Iran? And the first question was, Mr. President, are you committing war crimes by considering hitting bombs, by considering hitting bridges and power plants? And the president said, where are you from? And he goes, New York Times. And he said, get out of here. You're fake news. I mean, I feel like it's like a preview of what's going to come tonight.
Oh, of course. I mean, and it bears repeating. The New York Times, you know, they're the paper of record, and they have serious journalists. This is a paper that has not endorsed a Republican presidential candidate since Dwight D. Eisenhower in 1956. I'm not very good at math, but I'm pretty sure that's, 60, 70 years ago? I mean, come on. So, yeah, the fact that he pushes back on stupid questions like that, and obvious biased questions, that doesn't make him mean. It doesn't mean he's treating the press poorly. He's just using his First Amendment right. When a stupid question is asked, he'll say it's stupid, and that's his right just as much as that reporter's right to ask the question of the president in the first place. Absolutely,
but he takes the question, and that's what's amazing about it. Even if he doesn't care where the media is, he takes them, which is so incredible, and the way it should be. Ed Cox.
Every chance he gets, he will stop and say something to the press. And something that is intriguing, something that's interesting. I mean, they're feasting off him. They should appreciate him.
Yeah, I think he's keeping a lot of media outlets in business at this point, Mr. Koch. I mean, I honestly, without Trump, what would ratings be like at CNN, where they have more, employees than they do viewers at this point, right? Or even the New York Times, Washington Post. He's the guy who keeps things interesting and keeps these publications.
Remember, he put Morning Joe on the map in the 2016 campaign, right?
Precisely, yes. So that's where we're at this point. And you're right. He'll take questions on Air Force One, and he'll take questions in the Oval Office, and he'll take questions before he goes to Marine One. The guy takes questions. You might not like the answers, but at least he's talking to the press, unlike, again, Joe Biden, who did so few questions. And then even when he make a statement, he'd run off like Saquon Barkley before anybody could ask a question. I never saw a guy move so fast. It was amazing.
Actually, Joe, when Biden had press conferences, and they talked about this today, they had to submit the questions in advance, and then the Biden people would send back the questions they were allowed to answer. So,
and then he would have the answers on the cue card. Remember, half the time, it would say, person over here,
plus the
surprise question.
Plus the designated reporter. Right. He wasn't taking independent voices. He knew exactly who the reporter was, what the question was.
Yeah, you'd see the cue card.
Guys, we got to move on. We are over time, and we are interfering with Mark Levin's hour.
Oh, we can't do that. Joe, will you
what do we all stand for?
Truth, justice, and humanity way.
God bless America.
Mark Levin in progress.